Welcome everyone to Coney Island's favourite football podcast, the Only Fans Football Podcast. Bing bang! No Cran this week as Chelsea got beaten by a Masuaku screamer and due to the fact of him being flat out with college work. Dave returns for another episode as the lads eulogise over Divock, Origi, strangers on a bus and Portuguese commentators. We hope you enjoy the podcast wherever you're listening and be sure to follow our Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, Twitter and TikTok. Take it easy.
My spanky senses tell me this is gonna get fucking tasty, baby.
I will love it if we beat them. Love it.
There's a slice of cheese for Nico Giantsopoulos.
I have a dream.
Bardler.
The fella in the green and white short.
The guys up in the joy have asked to be put back in their cells.
If you stop waffling, we might get some work done.
He has the goop, lad. He has the goop, lad.
Get out! Get out, Man United!
Origi! Torres to give Chelsea a place in the Shane Long has done it!
Let me add a little bit of spice to that.
Is he your fucking spice?
My grandmother had wheels, she would have been a bike.
I think I'm a special one.
I'm the normal one.
I never knew Stoke were that good.
Fuck your life! Bing bang! You see these dogs up? Oh no! I got it wrong. And anyways, welcome everybody to another episode of the Only Fans Football Podcast. This is going uncut. The Only Fans Football Podcast episode. I have written down here episode 17. The Divock Origi. It was always going to happen. Bing bang! You see these dogs in your front yard? Just know upstairs. We going hard. I got it right the second time. I got it right the second time.
I can't believe you got it wrong.
I know. I had it right
Yours
as well.
hard than mine.
What was I going to say? Oh, the TikTok crowd don't like me anymore.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Anyways, welcome everybody to another episode. This week I have Dave with me again because Chelsea lost and Cran's afraid to come on.
Sorry to all the Chelsea fanboys, but I'm back again.
Oh, my best Cran. Cran's flat out with college work at the minute, folks, and unfortunately he just can't get on at the minute. But fairness to him, I'll be sending this on to him, and I said to him we're going to try and go uncut for the most part.
Yeah.
So he probably will be editing some shit out of it anyways. But yeah, another week of amazing football. Dave, I'll start off with your week. How'd you get on?
Oh, not too bad. The usual stuff, walking away, you know yourself. Didn't get to see any of the football again, so I'm going to have to go off the cuff. But overall, good week. I enjoyed the point. Actually, got to see the match, the Everton match.
We did.
I thought I boo-booed it with the fucking, I put money on 27-0 at 2-0 up.
Liverpool 27-0.
Yeah, Liverpool 27-0, yeah. Because it's only Everton, but yeah. No, good week though, good week.
Yeah, well, so we went out on Wednesday. It was my birthday on Wednesday, as people heard on last week's podcast. Cran started the podcast by singing Happy Birthday, which is very gracious of him.
Very wholesome.
Very nice moment, considering he wasn't able to be with us this week.
Gentle giant.
But yeah, so had a great little birthday. I really felt the love. Got a few messages from the OnlyFans faithful as well on the Instagram, so I really do generally appreciate it. But yeah, we're out on Wednesday, the first for Liverpool and Everton. And as I've discussed before on the podcast, the Merseyside derby is my favourite game of football of the year, purely because I've been to, we've been to Tradeham, and like we've seen some amazing things. Salah's goal for the Puskas.
Yeah.
We've seen Origi's last minute winner, which is the reason why I love the man. And we've seen Liverpool in the last game we're in Anfield. We beat Everton 5-2, so we've had a good run of Merseyside derbies, and as luck would have it, this year's one fell on my birthday, and to be honest with you, I had all the makings to spoil it. Look, we'll start there. We'll start with the midweek games really quick.
Yeah.
So we'll start with the Liverpool Everton game, of course. We were about out for it in what was the place called? Tommy O'Gara's in Stony Bar.
Was lovely. Yeah.
Guinness was lovely.
It was a good show. It was a really good show.
Good
bar
show.
Staff lovely as well.
Lovely bar staff. I think it was ourselves and Dill and Tom. Ian and Tom, of course, up for Everton. Dill being a staunch Liverpool fan, wanted us to win as well. So it was a good crack, good banter. But yeah, lovely points of Guinness in the Stony Bar area. Tommy O'Gara's, if you're about. We got a Canton City afterwards.
Yeah, it was actually
delicious, nice spice pack.
Yeah. Can't go wrong.
Yeah, hey.
Hey.
And so we'll get on to the game really quick. So we'll finish 4-1, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And at the start of it,
they were spanking them.
It was very intense. Like, I mean, Tom, bless him, doesn't watch a lot of Premier League football. He's a Celtic supporter, so he just isn't arsed the Premier League. And even he was saying, like, this is completely unfair. This is like men against boys. Mm-hmm. And the first few minutes before Henderson even got his first goal, we could have been 2 or 3 up. It was very impressive to see how strong we were. And in years gone by at derbies, and this is what we've had a laugh at it, Klopp has often shifted the team about. Like the derby we won 5-2, I think Lallana, Shaqiri, Origi started. Jones. You know, people were like, "Oh no,
was Echo playing?"
No. And people were like, "Geez, we could. This could be, a bit of a banana skin." But this time around, probably our strongest 11, given the players available. Yeah. The midfield of Fabinho, Henderson, and Thiago was great again. Yes, and it showed the intent from Klopp straight away that he wasn't taking the piss this time, and he just wanted.
I think he was out for blood.
He wanted to smash everything, especially after given the game last season in Goodison with the injury to Van Dijk and Thiago, and then the nature of the game in Anfield.
And the return fixture in Anfield. Yeah.
The nature of the game in Anfield, the 1-0 win for Everton, in which they celebrated like as if they won a trophy, but it is what it is. They are what they are. But Henderson's first goal, really good play.
Finished it very well.
He started the move as well out to Mane. Mane twisted and turned Coleman around and played it into Henderson, and it was a lovely left foot finish, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, he put it away well. To be honest with you, I wasn't really confident that it was going to go in as bad foot, but I was proven very, very wrong. Played very well in the night in France. So.
And it was at this point where we'd gone from slating Henderson in the pub to being like, Jesus, he's actually playing well. And the second goal, what a goal again. So Thiago wins the ball in the middle of the park from Allen, and he plays to Henderson, and Henderson plays a lovely, like a curling ball out onto the right wing, and it allows Salah the space. It gives Salah the space and the time. Yeah. And he left Luka Dean for dead. Yeah. Cuts in on his left as he usually does, and bam, lovely finish. Pickford could do nothing about it.
Yeah, he's shy. I don't know. I think his position was a bit bad for it, but like it was a great finish. Now
he showed him that side. He showed the side. And Luka Dean there was and happened with Coleman as well. Funny enough, was running after Salah. Yeah. Like me running for the bus, like they just weren't catching him. You know what I mean? And very good. And there was a period then after where we were still creating chances and not putting them away. And you probably say not being ruthless enough, but it felt like we were very comfortable and we kind of took the foot off the gas.
Comfortable at 2-0, yeah.
And we kind of got lazy.
I thought it jinxed it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, at this point, you had put a bet on, did you?
I did, yeah. I thought I'd fucked this up now. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah.
You and Dylan looked at me saying, what you do?
At 2-0, Dave decided to put a bet on for Liverpool to win 7-0.
I was fairly confident before the game.
It's never good when Dave's confident. Yeah. So the ball breaks to, I think it was Richarlison. Yeah. A lovely ball outside the right foot and into the Demarai Gray, and it was a nice finish by him. Yeah. And it was at this point where the three of us, especially being so confident, and even Ian and Tom watching it, were like, this is completely unfair and everything.
2-goal lead is very dangerous.
It looked like everything could get back into it. They had a bit of a period then in the second half where again they looked like they get into it, but our goal comes from an Everton corner. So second ball is won by Gray, and he passes it back to Coleman. Yeah. And I'll be honest with you, I think the sheer presence of Salah there was what done him in.
I know,
because it wasn't necessarily a tough ball to deal with, but Salah just, as you said, he just scared the bollocks out.
As soon as he got past him, he was never getting him.
And
I said the same night. I think like before the leg break, I think he would have caught him.
Yeah,
but I think wasn't getting there.
I think Coleman's a very good example of what could have been. You know, he obviously had that tough injury. Yeah. And he was linked with the likes of Bayern Munich, funny enough, at one stage.
Actually was, yeah.
And lovely placed finish by Salah into the bottom corner. Pickford nowhere to be seen again. And it was at this point, I keep saying at this point, sorry about that. This was when Liverpool kind of started taking the piss then, and a lovely ball by Robertson into Jota, who turns Allen inside out and just whacks it over Pickford.
Yeah, no, it's a great finish, man. Like, we were slating Jota last week for having a bad touch.
Yeah.
And it was like Torres years ago. I can't remember.
Don't jinx it just yet, because we'll be talking about yesterday's game. But yeah, lovely finish.
Yeah, no, it was a great finish. It was a candidate for Golden Month.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I was very confident going into yesterday's game, and as I said, we'll chat about that in a minute. But everything really, really poor, and the gap between the top 3 teams and the rest of the league is unbelievable. I mean, I think we talked about last week about the top 3 and the top 4 even, sorry.
Yeah.
All having a positive goal difference, and every other team in the league not having a positive goal difference. And I think that speaks volumes. I think Liverpool and City and Chelsea, of course.
Yeah.
I think we're so far ahead of everyone else, and it's quite frightening, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no. And in fairness, I think West Ham are kind of bridging the gap. I thought, they're doing well against the big teams this year now. You look at the people they've beaten, or the teams they've beaten.
They've beaten the top 3. To be fair, they have, and they're we will speak about it when we talk about the Chelsea game. It's a tough game. It's tough. It's a place. The London Stadium. It's an anomaly, because for the longest time it didn't have an atmosphere. It didn't have an atmosphere, and the atmosphere it did have was kind of a hateful one towards the owners,
toxic,
whatever.
Yeah.
But now it seems like it's really hard to go, and I do think that's down to Moyes. But anything else to say about the 4-1 win over the Ev?
No, I was expecting that. I'd score a hat-trick against them at some stage,
Yeah, and we finished the night, funnily enough, with a Bailey's on ice, a very festive drink.
I have to say, I think that's the way forward. After Guinness.
Yeah, it was beautiful, though, I have to say. But we'll go back. I have notes written for every game, but I'm not going to run through it too long. But the midweek games, I have written here, Newcastle and Norwich 1-1. Kieran Clark got sent off 10 minutes in, but it was a good point for Newcastle in the end, playing about 80 minutes with 10 men.
Yeah.
Pukki's goal was great. But yeah, not much else to say there. Leeds 1, Crystal Palace 0. Meslier made an unbelievable save at one point. I think it was Benteke headed it over him.
Yeah.
And the ball was dribbling in, and he just, I don't know how to explain it, but he just clutched it.
Yeah.
I'd nearly say half the ball was over the line. It was really good play by him. Rafinha to the rescue again, but I mean,
I'd love Liverpool.
It's the same old story with Leeds. He'll look great in Liverpool red next season. That's for certain. Southampton 2, Leicester 2. I just have written here Maddison masterclass. It was a very good game from Maddison. Assist and a great goal from and a player who potentially could be coming back into form, and he's one of those players that could be really dangerous if he kind of picked up that form. Maybe with a better team,
he needs to be more consistent.
Very good. Yeah, consistency is a big thing.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I think he does always recognise that as well. When he's kind of in interviews, he's a good lad.
Mm-hmm.
And so 2-2 there. We'll move on to Watford 1, Chelsea 2. Ranieri back against Chelsea, and to be honest, Dave, Chelsea looked very unstable.
Yeah, well,
and sorry, very beatable. Is what I found.
Well, as I've said before, I don't watch a lot of Chelsea games. Going by what the boys are saying in the group chat, a loss has come from even
came
yesterday. Came yesterday. But the one thing I will say is they might be playing well, but they're winning games, and that's a mark of a champion like that. Don't get me wrong.
What I will say is in the last 5, so they've I don't know who the fifth game was that they beat, but then they drew it 1-1 with Burnley, or was it 2-0? They drew it Burnley, and anyways, they drew 1-0 with Manchester United. They beat Watford, and now they lost West Ham. So they're missing Kante at the minute.
I think he's the key.
Lukaku, if they can get him firing, look, it's a different proposition altogether. But ifs and buts.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's a bit of a bit of a hex over Lukaku and Chelsea. I just don't feel like it's going to work out.
It could be the Premier League.
Yeah, I know, but he's done well for West Brom and
Everton.
But it's just, I don't know, with the bigger teams, it's
just destined not to work out with Chelsea, maybe.
Yeah.
I think the service for him as well isn't great.
Yeah.
I think at times he looks a bit lost, and he didn't cover himself in glory in this game or in the game against West Ham.
Yeah.
But I'll just move on to the goals real quick. The first goal came from Mason Mount, and he had hit the post about 5 minutes beforehand.
Yeah.
And it was a good bit of Chelsea play down the left hand side. Alonso into Havertz. Havertz played it to Mount, and Mount had a little tap in. Lovely goal, great bit of play. And look, that's where Chelsea are good. I think if Mount and Havertz, Mount Mount and Havertz can kind of link up with Lukaku, they would be very dangerous. But he is coming off an injury as well, so you have to remember that. So it was 1-1 then with Dennis. And I have written here, Dennis the Menace.
He's been playing.
He's been very good. Yeah. He's been very good against Man United the other week as well. He makes a fool of Rudiger and kind of shimmies right, and Rudiger just goes and then he just places it into the bottom corner, and it was a lovely finish from him.
Yeah, he's cracking player.
And then the second goal, the winner for Chelsea, was 2-1. To make it 2-1 was Hakim Ziyech, crossed by Mount again, and Ziyech hammered it home into the top of the net, and it was a good finish by him. And okay, Watford have had a lot of tough games recently, and I think in the last 6 they've lost 5.
Yeah,
and they've won 1. And the team they beat was Man United 4-1. They've been beaten by us, of course, 5-0, and they were beaten by City yesterday 3-1, and beaten by Chelsea 2-1 there. So it's been a tough run of games for Ranieri, but I think
it's going to get better on from here.
I think 4-2 away to Leicester as well. So they have had tough games, but
I think they go for it. Like,
I think they play good attacking football, and they have exciting players.
They give it a go. You know what I mean?
I think Dennis, King, Sarr,
I really like
Cuco, Hernandez. They've good forwards there, so I don't think it should be too much problem. But Chelsea, very good result there, considering they kind of played poorly. I'll move on real quick. West Ham won, Brighton won. Neil Maupay with an overhead kick in the last minute to save his team.
We were talking shit about last week, weren't we?
Rightfully so.
Yeah.
Rightfully so. And he admitted that as well in an interview. He was poor. He was poor against Leeds.
Yeah.
Could have had 2 or 3 goals in that game. And look, he got the equaliser there, but there wasn't any Brighton fans booing this week away to West Ham.
And they need
and they weren't fucking booing against Southampton either. I'll tell you that now.
They need to kill the expectations. You know what
I mean? Wolves 0, Burnley 0. The less said about that, the better. Aston Villa 1, Man City 2, and again another good result by Man City there. Another good result for Man City there. And Stevie G has Aston Villa playing well.
He's doing a good job. In fairness to him. No, mate. Now, in fairness, I think it is a very good group of players. Like, so he should be doing well. I still think Dean Smith's hard done by, but Stevie's got a point for them. See how he gets on. I think we're playing Aston Villa next, are we?
Aston Villa on Saturday, the return of Stevie G.
Not looking forward to that now.
December's the month of returns for Liverpool managers.
Yeah.
So we had Benitez on the first. We have Rodgers coming up now soon. I think it's over. I think it might be Stevens Day. Yeah. And then we have, of course, Villa on Saturday. So
and we have them in the cup as well.
We do. That's actually the game I'm thinking of. Yeah. So as we said, Aston Villa 1, Man City 2. It was Diaz who got the early goal. It was a deflected shot from outside the box, and look, we said it there a minute ago about Dennis, but Diaz is the real deal. I have to say, I'm a really big fan of Diaz.
He is a good player. I actually really rate him.
To make it 2-0, it was Gabriel Jesus on the counter attack after a bit of good Aston Villa play.
Yeah,
and by God,
that finish, man!
What a cross by Jesus first of all, and then Silva's volley.
Oh no, he hit it right in the button. There was no way it was going to be saved, man. Like, it was hit so well. But the play up to it was great. Oh yeah, no, Martinez couldn't save it. Yeah, no. But yeah, no, fucking hell, it was some bit of play to get the goal.
And then 2-1, to make it 2-1, it was a Douglas Luiz corner in from the right hand side, and it looked like it was something they worked on the training ground. But it was a good bit of play. Watkins comes in front of the defenders and slots it away, but Edison beating at the front post. Bit of. I wouldn't say it was great goalkeeping now, but it was a well worked routine.
Yeah, no, it's just a shame they didn't push on. Like, that was fairly quick into the second half.
Yeah, I think it's like 54 minutes.
Yeah. Like, bit of a shame they couldn't go on and get another goal because they were at home as well. But it is what it is. You know what I mean? I'm not looking forward to playing. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah. Like, look at Villa. They'll be well drilled. They'll be up for the game as well. And I think the thing with Gerrard is for Villa, and it's the same with Duff at Shelbourne, funny enough, is because he's a player of such ability, they command respect.
Yeah.
And the players will listen to Stevie G, you know, whether he's a good manager or whether he's a bad manager, we don't know yet, but he does command that respect, and he will have them well drilled coming to Anfield on Saturday. And yeah, look, it'll be a tough game, we know that.
I'm expecting utter shithousery.
Yeah, probably.
Big time.
Probably. We'll move on now. I think we have Thursday's game. I'm going to just read through real quick.
Go for it.
Yeah, we have Thursday's games now. Tottenham 2, Brentford 0. I just have written here because I haven't got much written about it, but Spurs sublime in a tough game at home. Because Brentford are good away.
Yeah, the better away now.
Yeah,
that's.
I was about to took Thursday about.
Yeah. Harry Kane doing that?
I think Kane assisted.
Scored, did he?
He assisted the goal for Son in this game, I believe. Look, I think it's going to take a while for Spurs to really kick into any kind of gear because the new manager and whatnot, and it's going to be tough for them, of course. But I do think if Conte can really get them playing, I think they need a few defenders. I definitely think they need another midfielder, but the front three is as good as you'll get in the Premier League.
It is, but I don't know. They're not really like Kane's like the fulcrum, the front three, and he hasn't been doing anything really this year.
Yeah, but I mean,
or this season, should I say?
I mean, a lot of it does come from like the fact that he doesn't want to be there. You know what I mean? He doesn't want.
That's
to
a big
be there.
factor, yeah.
But fuck Spurs. And anyways, we move on to the last game of the week. Yeah. And Manchester United 3, Arsenal 2. And before we get into the semantics of the game and what happened and our opinions and all this shit, I have a good friend, a good listener of the podcast, Gary Vav, who was at the match on Thursday. And obviously I was chatting away to him for the match. He was while he was flying over, he said he was listening to the podcast. And United won obviously 3-2. And that's the first win he's seen at Old Trafford since Fergie's left.
Jesus Christ, yeah.
And he's gone to games, this is what he said to me, he's gone to games 6 out of the 8 seasons since Fergie left. He didn't go during the COVID, he didn't go during the Moyes season, and obviously with COVID ruled him out going. But I have written here the 8 results that he's seen, or the 6 results, that he's seen at Old Trafford since Fergie's left. So the first was Man United. It's awful, isn't it?
Fucking hell.
Manchester United 0, Southampton 1. That was the first game he's seen.
Yeah.
Post Fergie. Manchester United 1, West Ham 1. Manchester United 1, Stoke 1. These are all awful.
I think the worst one of the lot is fucking Burnley 2-0.
So Manchester United
scoring 2 goals. Jesus
Manchester United 1, Everton 1, and then United 0 and Palace 0, and then the last game, as Dave said there, Manchester United 0, Burnley 2. So he broke his duck of bad luck. Very, very funny.
Good game.
He said,
he
said last time I seen United win was when Fergie was in charge and Van Persie scored.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
He said post match, he said he genuinely felt like crying after Ronaldo scored.
Yeah. Oh no, naturally enough. Yeah, Jesus. No, I am. But
it's fucking gas.
It did actually look like from what I say, I didn't actually watch it, but like from looking on football, it looked like a great game. Yeah,
it was actually a good game of Barclays. Very good game of Barclays. Yeah. Gary also said prior to the 2012-13 season, he'd been over in Manchester 4 times before that and seen 2 draws and 2 wins.
Yeah.
To then go on to see 6 losses, it would make you question your sanity, wouldn't it?
Yeah, no, yeah.
Or
no.
6
do you remember,
wins.
Like we didn't see a win in Anfield for a long time.
Yeah, it was.
We
good
went 3-4 years and didn't see a win.
Yeah, well, these things happen. Yeah. You know what I mean? I think we've seen.
It's just because we're not fortunate enough to go over multiple times a year.
The game against Fiorentina, our first Liverpool game at Anfield, Champions League.
Jovetic
2011, I want to say.
I think it was 2011. Yeah, I think so.
20. No, it could have been 2010. No, it was actually.
Was it my 13th birthday?
It was 2009 gone in 2010 season. It was December 2009. And yeah, Jesus, the less said about that, the better. But it was actually great atmosphere. It was a great first game.
He scored in that, didn't he?
Yossi Benayoun scored at the fucking literally just 2 minutes before half time. A header from a free kick.
Yeah, it's funny what you remember, isn't it? And we had the Fiorentina fans blow us with all the flares and all the smoke coming up. That actually wasn't bad.
It was great crack, to be fair.
Yeah, it'd be better now, like us now. Like we know what's going on.
Yeah, but to be fair, we haven't been to a European night in Anfield since, and I do think that's something we have to change. But yeah, Gary Vav, I know you're listening. That's fucking gas, man. I'm glad United won for that.
I know I'm not. Fuck that. Sorry,
it would embarrass.
Sorry, guys, but fuck that.
Yeah. So anyways, get on to the game real quick. Fred had a master and a disaster class. So I don't know whether you've seen the first goal for Smith Rowe. but it came from
David
De Gea was injured.
He could have fucking torn his Achilles, man.
Yeah, and Fred nearly took the ankle off De Gea. Smith Rowe did in. He then got an assist for Bruno to make it 1-1. And he won the penalty.
It was a good assist, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good bit of play.
And he won the penalty for Ronaldo to score the winner. So, Fred had a good game. Gary had a good game. And that's our midweek roundup.
There we go.
Bing bong!
Fuck your life!
Fuck your life!
Has to be... Oh, God.
Stop.
Hi, Kieran, and they're going to be editing this. I love you.
I was going to stop it so you can send them.
Yeah, go on,
That's why I'm easy.
Easy like a Sunday morning.
I was going to say Saturday morning because that's when the first game was. West Ham 3, Chelsea 2.
Would you fuck off?
So I was actually in.
I was trying there.
I know, and you kind of put a little singing voice on and all, doing harmonies and everything.
Yeah.
I was in Kildare Village when this game kicked off.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. And shout out to Cottle. Obviously, I went with Cottle for a bit of Christmas shopping, but so went with Cottle to Kildare Village, and shout out to the Adidas shop, right? So in Kildare Village, you have to virtual queue up or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And me being a good citizen that I am, to stop the woman telling me what to do, I went, well, I'll just scan the barcode myself and I'll wait in the virtual queue.
Yeah.
So I did. Standing outside the Adidas shop about 10 minutes. And she's just letting people go in and in, no bother. I was like, right, fair enough, fuck this, I'm not queuing up anymore.
Go in.
I went up and I shouted, I was like, here, I'm not being standing there for 15 minutes, what's the crack? And she was like, oh yeah, you're still in the queue. And I was like, what's the story with all them you're after letting in? And she goes, oh no, they weren't queuing up. And I goes, what's the difference then? And she goes, oh, there's no difference. So me and Cole stood there for another 5 minutes looking at her. And she was, in fairness to her, fair balls for her, she didn't give a fuck about us. She's like, right, you can move now. And we were like, oh, fucking fair enough. And anyways,
move on, not go in.
No, she was like, you have to wait till you get your text back.
I would have told her fuck off.
Fucking bitch. And anyways, getting on to the West Ham game. So we were coming back from Kildare Village and the game kicked off. You were in work, Dave, so you didn't see any of this.
Yeah, no, I didn't, yeah. I was seeing Kieran though when I got out work. We got to the game first.
So obviously West Ham, as we keep saying, they won 3-2, Cran. It was Thiago Silva from a corner early on, about the half an hour mark, and West Ham they didn't really start off well from what I was hearing at the time, and you know, Thiago Silva's been immense this season with Chelsea, so it's no surprise he was on the score sheet. So that was 1-0, and then Lanzini got a penalty. It wasn't Lanzini. Lanzini scored the penalty.
See, Shehousery after he gave it. What was all that about?
I have no idea. Yeah. Bit of handbags with Reece James. But anyways, this is what I wanted to get. This for me is the big talking point of the weekend overall, and in a certain way, apart from obviously Divock Origi, that's the real talking point. But it was Edouard Mendy, and look at Jorginho doesn't help him at all here.
No.
Fires the ball back to him, and Mendy's kind of under pressure. But it happened to him in the Watford game as well, and he invited the pressure on.
Yeah.
So I'd say Moisey was looking at that Watford game going, right lads, when he gets the ball, press him. Because he thinks he's way more confident on the ball than what he actually is.
Yeah.
His confidence is up here, and his ability's down here. And for anyone that's listening, my left hand is up really high, my right hand's down really low. Because his confidence far outweighs his ability on the ball.
Yeah.
And so he got away with it at Watford, in fairness. This time, not a hope. Bowen was in there like swimwear. Bang. Mendy tackled him. Penalty all day. Great finish by Lanzini to put it away.
Yeah. I think Chelsea were on top of most of the game before that, and then that kind of turned the game around. That penalty. Because that brought them 1-0 up half time, didn't it? Yeah.
And it was Mount who gave them the advantage again to make it 2-1.
Yeah.
Good ball across by Ziyech, who, to be fair, seems to be coming into a bit of form now for Chelsea. And great ball over from the left hand side over to Mount. Mount first time volleyed it in. Fabianski no chance, being at the near post now, so he'd probably be a bit
pissed off about
that. But it was a lovely finish by Mount. We move on to the second half, and again it was a fairly innocuous. I can't even say that word, can I? Innocuous, is that how you say it?
Innocuous, yeah.
Yeah. It was a fairly
innocuous
goal by Bowen. Thanks, Dave. Because it came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It was a thunder bastard now. It was a fucking... It was a rocket.
Thunder bastard.
And yeah, it was good goal. Bowen was a very good player, and I know you were saying to me...
Yeah, I like him. I think he's a good player.
When he came in, but I was talking to Dill about him as well.
Yeah.
I think he's a Klopp player.
I think he is a system player. I think he do well. Like,
I think he would get on well at Liverpool. And he goes out with... I know you probably won't know this... But he goes out with Danny Dyer's daughter. No, Danny Dyer.
Oh, top geezer.
Top geezer. He's standing him.
Yeah, blowing bubbles in the stands.
Yeah, him. He goes out with his daughter.
Yeah.
Also named Danny Dyer.
What?
Yeah. It's a bit weird, isn't it?
Yeah, no,
It's like Walt and Walt Jr. Danny Jr. Yeah. And anyways, he goes out with Danny. And she's a fucking cracker. So Bowen is not only winning on the pitch, but he's winning off it.
Yeah.
And he has the daddy's approval as well, which is always good.
Hey up.
So we'll go on to the last bit of the game.
Flynn. Sorry, that's
Flynn.
Sorry, I just popped in your head there.
Oh god. Walt Jr. And anyways, came back to the house and I'd seen. So I was back for like the last half an hour of the game.
Yeah.
I'd missed Bowen's goal, and when I stuck it on, it was 2-0. And God bless Cole. I know Cole will be listening. Cole was wrecked and he fell asleep on the sofa. So he wasn't watching the Chelsea watch. He wasn't watching it.
He was panned out.
And he's a Chelsea supporter as well, so this is why it's funny. And obviously, like, anyone who knows me or knows of me or whatever, like, when I'm watching the football, Dave can vouch for this. I scream like a child at it because I am a child. And it was Masuaku. He was the most random baller ever. You know that?
Yeah, no, I could just imagine they carrying that.
But Dave,
I couldn't believe it,
I
man.
was screaming. It was hilarious.
I still don't know whether he meant that or not.
Do you know what
I think
it
it was
is?
a slice. I think he sliced it.
I think I have a sneaky suspicion. I've seen it.
You think he meant that?
I've
I don't
seen
think
it
he
about
did.
100 times now.
Yeah.
Because I can't stop watching it. Between him and Origi, it's been a great weekend for random ballers. And before the cross or the shot, he looks up. Like he gives Mendy the eyes, you know what I mean?
I don't know. See, it's just a random goal. Like, I don't know. I can't.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm on the air. Aaron on the side of it was he sliced it,
And he didn't mean it.
but I don't know.
And it was Masuaku got the goal anyways, and that was that. And they won 3-2, West Ham, and as we said earlier, so they have
Tough place to go.
They've us, Leicester, Spurs, City, Chelsea. They've beaten all of us this season.
Yeah.
It's the games like Brighton during the week that they draw that fucks them over. They drew Wolves after beating us as well.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, if they got a bit more consistency. I hope they finish top 4. I do like the West Ham team. There's a lot to like about them. And the story of Moyes is a very good story as well. But yeah.
Moyes is doing very well.
Good result for Newcastle. So we move on
Newcastle?
now. I'm just looking at Newcastle here.
Sorry, yeah.
Good result for West Ham. Excuse me.
Sorry.
I was going to move on to Newcastle again. That's
Sorry.
So moving on now. Thanks, Dave. Spoiler, you prick.
Yeah.
Newcastle won, Burnley 0. And
they finally won again.
What I love about doing the show and with Cran and obviously yourself now, is that I get texts from people when they're going away and be like we said last week about the people in the Barnsley and the PSG, whatever.
Yeah.
I get the text like, I'm going to see a football game.
Yeah.
Shout me out on the podcast. I was like, fucking dead right. So one of the lads from college, Shane, and a few of his lads from, I'm going to call them the Athlone boys because that's where they're from.
Athlone boys, yeah.
At Newcastle and Burnley. And you could actually see them on telly.
Yeah.
They had good seats. They're around 5 rows from the pitch. Like, they had very good seats. One of the lads that was with them, they were standing where Burnley were warming up.
Yeah.
And he got Eric Peters, like, what would you call it? Like, warm up.
Yeah, jumper.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but he has a picture of it. It's fucking gas. Like, they had a good time. And anyways, and
it's fairly random.
Yeah, it's so random.
Frame it up and put it on the wall, mate.
And just a picture of it. No, it's great. It's a great snap. Like, it's. I'd to be fair, if we were over there, we'd have done the exact same thing.
Yeah. Newcastle would be a good way day.
Yeah, absolutely. Wilson, the hero again for Newcastle as he was during the week, got the goal against Burnley. We said last week ourselves that like a player like Almiron has to play a bit more because he's playing Fraser and he's playing Richie. He's playing his friends essentially.
Yeah.
They were both dropped for this game. Manquillo came in. They won 1-0. Manquillo, Lewis, Almiron all came in and they're all very good. In terms of Burnley real quick, there was a massive drop off in quality from Maxi Cornet to Matej Vidra.
Yeah.
And there was a chance after it went 1-0
that
Cornet would have scored.
Yeah.
you just know by how impressive he's been so far, and Vidra just skies it.
Yeah.
And they end up losing the game 1-0. The goal, people are saying it's a bit contentious.
Yeah.
Pope comes to catch it, and he just loses control of the ball.
Yeah.
Runs into it. He comes so far out of his goal.
Yeah.
And the further a keeper comes out, the less likely the referee's got to give them a hand.
Yeah.
Because they're putting themselves in danger. He didn't have to come out. And Wilson with the goal. Anyways, another good result for Newcastle, and an even better result for the lads going over from Athlone. What?
Yeah.
I said I enjoyed that one.
Eric Peters.
It's so
Stoke
random.
legend.
It's great, isn't it?
Oh man.
And so hope the lads enjoyed themselves. We move on now to Southampton 1, Brighton 1.
Potterball, another draw.
Another draw. They've had 8 draws in the last 10 games.
Draws, fuck your titles. No, I'm joking. No,
8 draws in the last
8
10
draws though, like fucking hell. I suppose 8 points close to safety, because that's what they should be doing every year. You know what I mean? Try to get to that 40 points and then you're sorted.
You look at Burnley in fairness, and they play anti-football, but they're Premier League stalwarts. Like they're there, and they're just there.
Yeah.
A team like Brighton haven't got much else to be going for other than something like that, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Now, there's no reason why they can't break into like Europa League or whatever, but Potter has got them playing at such a level, and he's got them playing good football, and this is the point. Yeah. That the Brighton fans are now expecting much more than what they're probably entitled to, in my opinion.
I agree with you.
You know, Booing last week against Leeds was ridiculous. And Leeds are a good side.
You need to understand, like they could finish in the top 10 this year and then next year get relegated. But wouldn't you rather be consistent and just stay 12th every year and guarantee that you're in the league every year?
Well,
getting your money.
You would rather be in the Premier League every year, absolutely. Yeah. So it was ridiculous last week against Leeds. They weren't booing during the week against West Ham, and they definitely aren't booing here. Well, here's one for you. So, Alex McCarthy picked up like a hamstring injury, I want to say, in the second half. Yeah. And from the 50th minute onwards, he couldn't take goal kicks. So his leg was injured.
Who's taking?
Oh, like one of the centre halves.
I
mean, that's irrelevant.
Yeah.
So, obviously, Southampton are winning 1-0. Broja with the goal. Cran will be happy with that. Chelsea loanee, very good player. Cuts inside. He done it to Duffy 2 or 3 times before he actually scored. And the third time he did it, he sent Duffy back to the gulag. Yeah. Like, he absolutely...
Trounced down.
It was one tap it was, Dave, you know what I mean? He murdered him.
Back left.
And he... outside the right foot into the bottom corner. And Southampton they can't hold their piss. They can't hold on to anything. Yeah. And so, Brighton have a corner. And it's all a shambles from this. Yeah. Brighton have a free kick. Yeah. The last minute of the game, 90 plus 4 minutes, I think. And... I thought Moder, I think his name, the German fella, is stepping up to take it. And McCarthy can't dive. He can't dive because his leg.
His leg's fucked. So that's how he scored.
This is how they scored, right? So basically, you could see McCarthy saying to, I think it was Walker Peters, come back on the line to head it. Yeah. And James Ward-Prowse was kind of like, no, I'll do it. So Moder stepping up to take free kick. Ward-Prowse legs it back onto the line to take it. Takes a deflection off the wall, comes back to Moder and Basile, and they just chip it back in. But Ward-Prowse hasn't came out in time. So there's about 10-15 yards between... Yeah. I suppose that's an exaggeration. About 8 yards between Ward-Prowse and the wall. So where the offside line would have been drawn. And Mopé's just somewhere in the middle. Back in. And it was a lovely finish by Mopé. Lovely finish. But McCarthy's standing still. He couldn't move. And Mopé, I really like this from... Goes like this to the crowd. For anyone who, no one's looking at this. Yeah. But the finger to the mouth, the old gimmick, the great gimmick that is. And great shithousing from him. I really like that from Mopé. Yeah. But this is where I was getting on to the controversy kind of. So Hassan Hootle comes out after the game and says McCarthy is unprofessional.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Fuck Hassan.
That's a lot of shit.
Fuck him.
So he's saying McCarthy's is being unprofessional because he wouldn't come off the pitch. Yeah. Now Dave, I'm not a Premier League manager, right? Yeah. If he's looking at the game and he's looking at McCarthy, who's not able to take a fucking goal kick, why isn't he taking him off?
Fuck Hassan. He should take him off.
He's diverting the blame onto McCarthy when it's his fault. Yeah, that's all that is.
No, it is. It's his decision at the end of the day. You know what I mean? It's taken out of the player's hands.
So yeah, 1-1 Brighton Southampton. Good result.
Fuck
for
him,
Brighton.
whinging cunt.
Yeah, really annoying. Jeez, relax with the C words, will you?
Sorry, but he is. I don't like him, man. I don't like him.
We're going to move on now
Yeah.
to the big Saturday game.
Big Saturday game.
Wolves 0. Liverpool 1.
I was on the bus. I was in work. I was on the bus on the way home. I thought I was going to catch the second half, and just didn't get out in time. I missed the bus.
What happened when you were on the bus, Dave? Let the
Oh
listeners
man,
know.
no, I filled you in, alright. So basically, I was just listening to music on the phone, and I had the blaring, like, and then I have the notifications on, so obviously, bing bang.
Fuck your life!
I see that there was a goal. Get in! I just started
On the
roaring.
bus, for everyone who's
On the
listening.
bus, right?
On
And
the bus.
it was quiet enough on the bus now, but like there was Elfle is L1 and some young fella with him at the back of the bus, and obviously the young fella got a fright or something. And they didn't say anything, right? Then when I seen it was Origi, I knew what you'd be like. I was like, get the fucking. And then your man just goes to me, will you calm down there? And I was like, oh no, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Oh, I'm very sorry.
Sorry. That's what I got. And then I said, no, I'm sorry.
Literally,
And then I was like, yeah, oh no, mate, I'm sorry. Liverpool are scoring. And he just goes, no need to be sorry. Get in, because he wasn't watching it himself.
Oh god. Two men brought together by the love of Liverpool.
Oh god. He was ready to spark me, you know.
It's fucking.
You thought I was like.
You told that story well. Now, fair play. I'll get on to the game really, really quick. Well, I won't. I'll take my time with this one because I'll enjoy it. But I couldn't find the stream on an English working channel on I can't say the Fire Stick.
Yeah.
So, Cran, if you're listening, put a quack on it or something. I don't care. I was looking on the Fire Stick and it came up. A Portuguese station was the only stream that was settled.
Yeah.
So it was the only stream that was like just consistent. There wasn't lagging or anything.
Yeah.
And I had to hurry it up, obviously. Mm-hmm. So my Portuguese has improved tenfold since the game. But obviously Wolves are like Portugal light. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They
have the Portuguese manager. They have loads of Portuguese players. And
Portuguese B.
Yeah. Portuguese B? Yeah, I suppose, yeah. And so every time Wolves were even out of their half.
Yeah.
They were going, the commentator was like, going mad. And I was like, geez, maybe relax. And then when Liverpool had chances, like, Wolves didn't. Mm-hmm. When Liverpool had chances, they were like, Saul Mello was like, no, another chance for Liverpool. Yeah. And when Wolves got it out, their hands like, come on. And anyways, the game could have been about 4-0. I'm delighted it wasn't. I'm quite happy it wasn't.
You like last minute wins, don't you?
Yeah, and I think it shows great, to quote the Broad, it shows great character.
Great character.
We had so many chances. Jota had two. The first one, the first half, was a header.
Yeah.
That he had plenty of time. He should have just headed it in. Mm-hmm. The second one came from Wolves being a bit of a bollocks at the back, to be honest.
Yeah.
The two centre halves collided, or the left back and centre half collided with the goalkeeper. So 3 of them are out of the game. Yeah. And Jota's just walking it in for some reason. I don't know why he didn't just shoot straight away.
Yeah, he should have shot it.
He allows the two Wolves defenders to get on the line, and he could hit it anywhere. And he's seen his composure against Arsenal.
Yeah.
And you're like,
you're
like, you can score this. And it could have been because it's Wolves, it's the former team.
Just wanted to rifle it in the net and
crumbled a bit.
Yeah, like that. Sorry, I'm cupping my ear.
Yeah. There's a lot of what's the word? We're doing a lot of actions here that no one can see.
Personification through the hands.
Yeah. And he could have scored, and it's as if he just lost his composure.
Yeah.
And obviously he didn't. Good block by Cody. And then Mane, and this is the chance. So this is about 90+1. And Mane has the chance from a corner, second ball from a corner.
Yeah.
And he's in plenty of space, and you're like, Sadio, just put it in. And he just, and then now it's a good save.
I went through it.
Oh, I know.
I said
through it. I FaceTimed you when the match was over. I was like, thank fuck you aren't here watching this.
I went through the roof.
You would have been through the window.
Yeah, I would have
and he should have scored, really. We made him, I'm not going to say we made it much harder, but Wolves aren't that anything. They didn't have, I'd say they had.
They just didn't want to lose 4-0.
Yeah, and that's fair enough.
Yeah.
And then, anyways, the goal comes from, shout out to Keanu Hoover, Agent Key, playing for Wolves, running up the line in the last minute. And this is an experience. Like, I think he's only 18. Could play it out to Jimenez to play it into the corner, and he doesn't.
Yeah.
Thiago tackles him, wins the ball to Matip back to Thiago down into Virgil. And this is like last chance. It's like Hail Mary stuff in the NFL. And Virgil rifles the ball.
Yeah.
Absolute ping.
That was a beautiful ball.
It lands on Salah's right peg, I think. His left peg.
I thought he caught with his left foot into his...
Yeah.
And it put it into a stride for him. Yeah. It was great touch.
It was a hell of a touch past Hoover again, who looked bollocks after running up and down the pitch.
Yeah.
To be fair, 90,
like they had time to set
minute.
back into positions, like...
Yeah, and
you know what I mean?
So Salah gets to the byline into Origi.
Great finish, man.
I cannot explain.
Yeah.
After watching the whole match in Portuguese,
yeah,
and
how
that goal,
goal,
and like I mean, there was times during the game where I was lowering the telly down because I couldn't listen to them. But when that happened, I heard it all the way fucking up. Inside the whole street could hear me, and they were like speaking in Portuguese.
Yeah.
But the away fans were great. The away fans were unbelievable.
Yeah.
And the scenes and like I mean, when we were out on Wednesday for the derby, we were kind of like, geez, an Origi goal would be great, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And it would have been great for a great
for your birthday. Yeah.
But it was even better that he scored today. It was even better that he scored on the Saturday. I swear to God, what a birthday present. Sorry. 1-0, Divock Origi. Mm-hmm. He has my heart, man. Even Klopp goes to him. Just go on and be Divock.
Yeah.
What's that even mean?
Yeah.
What do you mean, Jurgen? You know what I mean?
It's kind of like out of the Last Dance. Give the ball to Michael and get the fuck out of the way. Give the ball to Divock. Sorry, give the ball to Mo. Mo will give it to Divock.
To be fair, when he came on, he was lively. Like he was good, and the goal, like he did. For me, and anyways, and it's probably just blind bias. Definitely is blind bias. I thought he deserved the goal. I thought he was very good.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll move on to the half-5 game. What a win, Divock Origi. I love you, mate. What a win. Man City 3, Watford 1. Yeah, another game Watford can probably feel a bit hard. I'm not going to say hard done by, but against Chelsea they were very unlucky. They could have come away with something like that.
Yeah.
Man City were just like, their hands were just too short to box with God on that day.
Yeah.
About the great CM Punk.
Yeah.
City were very good. And Watford caused problems, and they probably feel slightly like that they could have gotten something, but if they're being honest, Man City were just better. Bernardo Silva, 2 goals. His second goal cuts in on his left foot. Jesus Christ, man. The finish is unbelievable.
It's mad to think they were ready to tour him out in the summer.
Yeah, and the thing is, he wanted to go himself.
Oh, he was right to go.
It's very strange, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. And Man City conceded only their 9th goal of the season in that game as well. So
they're fairly strong.
It shows how strong they've been. But Bernardo Silva, man, he's always been a good player. Last season he wasn't.
I've always right, man. Yeah, last season
he's a bit of a shithouse. Like I'm not the biggest fan of him now, to be honest.
He's a pit bull. Like he wants me in a team to kick someone up. You know what I mean?
He's a prick.
He always annoys me in Liverpool games. We have to appreciate how good he is. You know, I always liked him.
But yeah, another good game for Foden. Grealish was close to getting his first goal, but he didn't. Fuck him.
It's still not scored, no.
No, he still hasn't scored. The traitor.
The traitor.
And yeah, that's it really. Man City were just much better.
They're top 10
that evening. Yeah. So move on to the Sunday game. Leeds 2, Brentford 2. Bamford's like, I mean, to be honest with you, we're recording here on a Sunday evening. We're about busy tomorrow, so we haven't. I've seen the highlights of these games, but I'm not really that clever in general towards them. So Leeds 2, Brentford 2. Canos had a great chance to make it. I think it was 2. It would have been 2-1 at the time. Yeah. And the Leeds fans were giving him loads of grief, rightfully so. And then he scored, and he done what Mappe done, and gave it all that, and was giving them like, "Come on, I can't hear you," and all this. Yeah. And only for Bamford scoring the last minute.
And make it 2-2.
Make it 2-2.
It was away. They were away from home, weren't they? Yeah.
And to be fair, look at Leeds. It's been a good week for Leeds in terms of the season overall. Like, I think Bamford coming back will be big for them.
Yeah.
They've missed them a lot. 4 points from a possible 6 this week against Palace and Brentford. 2 teams who have been very good away from home this season. It's been a good week for Leeds.
Yeah. I still think they'll go down.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ian, but I do.
And he winked in there as well, don't mind. Yeah. We move on to Manchester United 1, Crystal Palace 0 even, excuse me. And again, Fred, a back-to-back man of the matches for him.
Did he get man of the match? 2 games?
2 games in a row he's got man of the match. And he scored here today.
Yeah.
I was loving
actually saying it was a good goal.
It was a good bit of play by Greenwood.
It's like that ball. It was like that ball Henderson always tries to get in.
Yeah.
And he just managed to put it in.
It's his bad peg as well. It's his bad foot or his
it's actually,
foot. Yeah, and it was a good bit of play by Greenwood into Fred, and Fred just, it was like a little chip. It was lovely.
Yeah.
It was a nice goal. And yeah, just from what I've been hearing, and even Gary was saying, and obviously Jer and anyone who texted the fucking Instagram or whatever about United, there was a clear difference in how United set up today. And I mean, if Manchester United with this squad are actually managed, they could be dangerous.
Yeah.
I don't think they will. I still think, like, you don't lose 5-0 to us at home and 3 or was it 3 or 2-0? 2-0 to Man City or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The gap is still there.
Yeah.
But to go away to Chelsea,
gap, though.
to go away to Chelsea and get a point, you know,
Ralph and them, man.
Thor could be good.
And Thor Ragnarok.
Thor could be good for them. And we move on. Spurs 3, Norwich 0. Again, another good win for Spurs. I haven't got much to say about this really.
Norwich just shy.
Norwich are
I'm
awful.
revoking my statement of Norwich will stay up.
That was an awful shout.
It was.
Yeah, so Adam Ida and Amabama Deli were both starting for Norwich. And it's a bit of a shame because you would have liked them to see them do better.
Yeah.
In a game, like away in London even, and you know, Spurs, they are going to slowly improve under Conte, and it's only natural because of Conte's ability as a manager.
Yeah.
And that's what you expect. But yeah, I reckon if Spurs can get a bit of a run together now, they might just scrape Conference League.
I don't know, man. It's almost like, sell your car for parts. Like, I don't know. I feel like their peak was Champions League final. And they're not going to win trophy. You know what I mean?
I don't know. The trophies
one,
be between the top 3, you'd imagine. Moving on now, lastly, to Aston Villa 2, Leicester 1. Another win for Stevie G against the Brodge.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I'm a bit surprised now. I thought Brendan would do a bit better now, but Stevie's doing well, man. That's 3 out of 4 wins, isn't it? I don't know. Like I know I keep coming back to it, but I am not looking forward to the game with Aston Villa. But it is what it is. I did think that Leicester would win. Funny enough, but don't know. They're really in a bad vein of form this season.
I just think with European football, and they actually have
killing them.
They have quite a big squad as well, and you think they'd be able to deal with it. But I think Rodgers, and funny enough, like Rafa as well, I think they could be on borrowed time. I can't see them lasting there for much longer.
I think Rodgers was allured by the United job for a little bit. I think his head was turned.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because everyone knew that Ollie was going to get sacked, so he was probably like, I'll get the character for it, you know.
Konza with 2 goals, anyway, it's strange for a defender. Harvey Barnes got goal for Leicester to make it 1-0. Lovely little finish. He's a cracking player, actually, Harvey.
Yeah, I like Harvey.
And Leicester's away kit is shy. And that's your...
Is that the grey one?
It's like grey, orange, and it's awful looking.
It's toilet paper.
Yeah, and that's your Premier League roundup. Actually, real quick, God of the Week, Dave. If you had to pick one player this week that was a godlike figure...
There can only be one.
There can only be one.
It has to be Divock, the Messiah.
It is. And for me, coming close to Divock, by the way, would be Henderson. I thought Henderson was very good.
Silva could be in with a shout as well.
It's Divock. It's just Divock,
man. Like, everyone takes a piss out, man, but he scores
so
player, many important goals.
I would... The memories he's given us as Liverpool fans are irreplaceable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're unbelievable.
I said in the lads chat, and now this could be another bad opinion. Just get yourselves ready, folks. Give him a lifetime contract. Just keep him there forever.
Build a statue outside Anfield. Your goal of the week, Dave?
My goal of the week is... It has to be Silva's goal against Aston Villa.
I actually think Silva's goal against Watford is mine.
Yeah.
I know you probably haven't seen it, but he cuts in on the left and he curls it within an inch of its life.
Into the top bin.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Having a great season.
I know, I think the bit of play for the one against Aston Villa was unreal. And the volley.
And we move on now. As we said last week, no gimmicks. No gimmicks with this. We're taking it serious. And our card of the week this week is...
Edouard Mendy!
Edouard Mendy. You said that like something out of your version there, Dave. Thanks. Edouard Mendy has had a shocking week. Like, I mean...
Totally out of character.
Yeah, and that's the bad thing about it. He didn't cover himself in glory against Watford. The game against West Ham, he gives away a penalty, and the goal, it's a free goal, but that's not good enough for me. I'm sure, look, if that was Alisson, we'd be saying the same.
Oh no, yeah, Carragher be on fucking Twitter, fat waster. Yeah, fucking.
But
yeah.
But Mendy is our cut of the week this week for giving away a penalty, nearly giving away a penalty against Watford, and conceding a shite goal to Masuaku of all players, by the way.
I'll be nice and say he will come back into form.
I
rate Mendy.
He will. I'd nearly say he's best keeper
really
in the league.
Yeah. And Edouard Mendy cut the week.
Moving on now to our Hall of Fame segment, Dave. I'll be honest with you, we've been spoofing here for a long time, so
we have. Yeah.
For any fans of Euro Trash and Euro Treasure, I'm extremely. I can't speak. I'm extremely apologetic because we're not going to do that this week. I haven't done the. I actually didn't do research on it, so
yeah.
I'm not arsed. One of the things that was sent to me during the week was about Zenit bringing dogs as mascots. I was going to use that as Euro Treasure.
Yeah,
that's quite wholesome.
But,
we're gonna crack on with the Hall of Fame now, and anyways, Dave. And you know what? I'll let you go first. You go ahead.
Right. I know. We discussed this a little bit at length. You didn't believe me.
I still kind of can't believe it.
Alright? I seen this on Twitter because when you were sending me get a bit of Euro Treasure, and I was like, alright, I'll put in football scandals on Twitter and see what comes up. So there was a bit of a scandal in Ligue NOS of Portugal, right?
The Premier Division of Portuguese football, by the way.
Now this isn't a spoof, folks. Adam has fact checked it, alright? So, Belenenses SAD, they were very sad indeed because they could only field 9 players, alright? They had no players on the bench and they had 2 goalkeepers starting against Benfica. They were beaten 7-0, and I'm not even messing. Look, actually, I'm looking at the goals here. All 7 goals were scored in the first half.
Yeah, it was 7-0 half time.
Yeah, no, they must have felt sorry for them.
This is the same Benfica team that beat Barcelona in Champions League, by the way.
But like,
how the fuck did they get away with this?
They had 2 goalkeepers on the pitch and like no forwards. Like
how did League NOS let that go ahead?
I don't know, man. I really don't know.
That was mad.
You couldn't believe me. You still don't, but you can put up the screenshots.
So what exactly are you putting in? Are you putting in Benfica winning 7-0, or the fact that Belenenses fielded 9 players?
Know what? I'm gonna put in the Hall of Fame. They had the balls to play a game with 9 players. Fair fucks.
Fair fucking plays.
I can't believe it, man. You still not believe it.
The only reason, right, I fact checked this, Dave, right, and I'm gonna address this now for everyone. I think I've been duped. I think I've been conned by the Copa Libertadores groups.
You've been sold.
I swear to God, I've never felt this stupid in my life. Because I was cracked up at them. I was like, this is I actually said it. I said it on the podcast.
Yeah.
This is unbelievable. And quite clearly it is. And quite clearly I've been conned.
I was with you though. I said, no, the one with Everton, Liverpool, and that Arsenal, Man City, seeing the fish.
And I was like, oh no, it's real. And that's the only reason why I wanted to fact check that. But 9 men against 11. That's fucking gas.
Boys against men.
Oh God.
You decide who are the boys and who are the men.
Oh God.
Right.
So my Hall of Fame this week, I'm going with, and you like this, Liam Mandeville's toe-sucking celebration for Chesterfield against Salford City in the FA Cup. Paul Scholes' team. Paul Scholes owns the team. And Mandeville scored to make it 1-0. And him and a few of his teammates got on the ground and started sucking each other's toes.
What the fuck? Jesus Christ.
And you know what? I seen that on Twitter and I was like, that's fucking hilarious. And then I was like, geez, I hope they didn't lose.
And they lose.
No, they won 2-0.
No, they won 2-0.
So it makes it even sweeter. But yeah, I'm going for Liam.
I don't think the toes are sweet.
Liam Mandeville. And like, what a sentence that is. Liam Mandeville's toe-sucking celebration against Paul Scholes' owned Salford City. That's the Hall of Fame this week, folks. Oh my God.
Oh God, that's another cracker, boys.
Oh God.
I'll say that.
Oh, a load of spoof. Moving on now to our acclaimed Get It Out segment. Get It Out! Shout out to Alberto Moreno, because he's probably going to be playing Europa League football.
Good man, Big Albie.
Come this week. If he's not already. Villarreal are in United's group, funny enough.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, this week on Get Out, like every other week, we are going to predict the Champions League games, aren't we, Dave?
Let's go for it, yeah.
And as the weeks have gone by, I think the last time I checked the score is 4 points ahead of Cran before the last game week.
Yeah.
And we've actually decided on a forfeit of whoever has the least amount of points has to sing Wham! Last Christmas on whatever episode, probably next week's episode, the week after. So, Dave, there's a lot of responsibility on you here because you are predicting for Cran.
Oh, Kieran, I'll predict well for you. Baby.
Right, so we'll start off Group A 2 quarter-to-6 kickoffs here. Group A, the first game is PSG at home to Club Brugge. Dave, who are you going with?
I'm going to go score draw here.
Score draw.
Yeah, I don't know. PSG are not very convincing, I don't think.
Yeah, and I think Bruges
have been playing alright.
Bruges drew with them in the return game as well, so that's a show. I'm going to go with PSG because I think Messi will just probably kick them around.
Yeah.
The second game, quarter-to-6 again, RB Leipzig against Manchester City. Dave, who are you going with?
I can't see anything past City. City are going to win that.
Yeah. And to be fair, we won away there as well last season with
pretty convincingly. Was it 4-0?
I think it was. Yeah, I think it was 3-0.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I agree. I'll go with City as well. We move on to Group B.
Group OB.
Group OB. FC Porto versus Atletico Madrid, and these games are actually quite big in terms of who's going through. So Liverpool are of course on 15 points, with Porto on 5 in second, and Milan and Atletico Madrid both on 4 points. So essentially, whoever wins this will probably go through. So it is a big game. The return game in Madrid finished 0-0. So it's a big game for both. Dave, who you going with, Porto or Atletico?
I'm going to go Porto.
Yeah, do you know what? I'm going to go Atletico because I just think they'll turn up. Like the likes of Suarez, Griezmann, if he's not suspended still, I just think they'll have too much for Porto.
I don't know. I'm not convinced by Atletico at all, and like the fact that Porto still stand a chance and they're at home.
Yeah,
might help them out.
We'd love Atletico to get knocked out behind.
Oh, fuck them. Yeah.
Next in the group, of course, is Milan and Liverpool. Dave, who are you going with?
I've learned my lesson from the other day. I'm going to go Milan.
Ooh.
Yeah. Don't know. They've been doing very well in the league this year, so I feel like they're going to carry that form at home. But it depends on how we play. I know it sounds very arrogant, but it depends on how we play.
Yeah, no, it's a fair show. It's like, I mean, I think a lot of it comes down to what team we pick as well.
Yeah. I think Morton could start. That's the only reason why I'm saying it.
Yeah, but you see, Morton was good against Porto. It's a tough one now for me because it's either going with my head, and if I go with my head, I think we'll either lose or draw. On my heart, and I want us to get the 18 points. I don't think it's been done by an English team. So, I'll go with Liverpool for that game. Group C, the best player in the world, Sebastian Haller's Ajax against Sporting Lisbon. Dave, who are you going with?
Ajax has to be.
Yeah, I think
they're going to steamroll them. I think
Ajax are in the same position as us, and Lisbon are already through as well. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Oh, so both them are
true. So it's a bit of a dead rubber.
Yeah.
Ajax for the win. Another dead rubber is Dortmund and Besiktas. Dave?
Can't see past Dortmund.
Yeah, I
really can't.
Go with Dortmund as well. Group D, and I think there's a bit of jeopardy in this group, funny enough. No, there's not. I am clueless towards Champions League for some reason.
I thought there was jeopardy.
Yeah, I thought there was. I thought Sheriff could have gone through if they won their game.
No way.
Anyways, Madrid and Real Madrid, that is, and Inter Milan are already both through. So they play each other on Tuesday night. Yeah. Group D, Dave, who are you going with?
We're going to go draw.
Yeah, I think Madrid at home. It's a dead rubber. Who cares?
Yeah, those games are kind of funny because both teams might just feel lesser teams just to say, look, nobody gets injured.
Shakhtar Donetsk against Sheriff. Will the lads of Sheriff of Moldova get a win to see themselves into the Europa League?
I think they will. You know what? They're the fairy tale of the Champions League this year. I think they're already through to the Europa League now.
Well, yeah, they are also already true. Yeah, they're on 6
I think they'll finish off with a win.
Shakhtar
done well.
Won. I'll go with Shakhtar because it's a dead rubber. It means nothing to either side really. So we move on to Wednesday's games, and the 5:45 kickoff comes from Group H. So we start there real quick. Juventus at home to Malmo. And Juventus and Chelsea already got through. So again, means
dead rubbers here, man.
I reckon I'll start off. Sorry, Juventus will win that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Juventus with you as well.
And then the next game is Zenit at home to Chelsea. It's a bit of a toughie.
I don't think Chelsea feel a strong team.
Probably not, but I mean, they're struggling with injuries as it is. The last game at the Bridge was 1-0 to Chelsea.
I might go draw again here.
Yeah, I might go score draw myself. We'll move on then to Group B. Bayern Munich at home to Barcelona.
It's not going to be pretty.
And
Bayern are going to spank them.
Bayern are already through on 15 points. Barcelona need something anyways, unless Kiev can do them a favour against Benfica. So, yeah, I'd fancy Bayern here myself. Benfica at home to Dynamo Kiev.
They should be
Yeah,
beaten.
I'd imagine Benfica win that as well. So that would see Barcelona into the Europa League.
Now, the only thing that Dynamo Kiev have gone from is 11 players on the pitch this time.
Very true.
Yeah.
Very, very true. So we move on to Group F.
That's mad. Imagine Barca in the Europa League, man.
Group F, and I it seems to be a bit of jeopardy here as well in terms of who will go through. Like, United are confirmed to go through because they're on 10 points. And Villarreal and Atalanta are playing each other, so they both can't go through as a result. So Atalanta and Villarreal, Atalanta at home. I really want Atalanta to go through, so I'm going to go with Atalanta.
I'm not convinced with Atlanta. I'm going to go Villarreal.
Not about you. Manchester United at home to Young Boys. Yeah, they'll win that.
No, I think Ralph and them man are going to lose. No, I'm joking. It's going to be a draw. I think it's going to be a draw.
I think United win. There'll be a lot of players playing that will.
I think there's going to be a lot of draws in the games during the week.
They'll have something to prove though. United players as well, to like the likes of Lingard. If he's to get a run out, he'll want to stable himself.
Yeah.
Or even Greenwood, even if Cavani's fit, we all go with United. Group G, the last group, the fucking worst group. Why are we ending with this group? This is the fucking bane of our existence as a podcast. It's the worst group in the competition. It's Salzburg at home to Sevilla. Is there any jeopardy in this group? Let me check. Oh, there is. There's actually a lot of jeopardy. I think any of them teams can go through. Can't they?
Yeah.
Any of these. Why am I giving out?
Sevilla against Salzburg. They're playing each other. So yeah. Yeah, no, actually there is.
Why am I giving out about this group when it's actually quite good?
Wolfsburg could win and
Lille could be out.
And Sevilla could win. The both go through and they're
true.
third and fourth.
And even Salzburg could go through as well. Yeah, I'm not really that apologetic.
Nah, it's a
fucking shite group.
Yeah.
Salzburg at home to Sevilla, 8 o'clock kickoff, Dave. It's a big one. It's a very big one.
I'm going to go Sevilla purely because they know how to play in Europe.
True. And Salzburg have had a good campaign.
Yeah.
Sevilla hampered by draws. I'll play it safe. I'll go Sevilla as well. The last game of the group, Lille, who are top of the group on 8 points, against Wolfsburg, who are bottom of the group on 5. But like a Wolfsburg win would see them through.
Lille haven't been playing well in the league this year, haven't they?
I don't think so. I'm not sure of that now, to be honest. I don't think they have been.
Yeah.
No, they haven't. They're 11th. And the squad just can't deal with the
here's a good
with the European football. Like,
Wolfsburg will win, but they won't go through.
Oh yeah, so
you get me? The goal difference.
Yeah,
they'll win 1-0, or they won't go out and spank them.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, there you go. That's my hot take.
Yeah, I'll go with Lille. So
yeah,
but yeah, it just looks like Lille can't handle the European football and domestic football at one time. They have still got like the team they had last season was good.
Jonathan David's a good player.
JD up front there, Bamba on the wing, Renato Sanchez, Timothy Weah as well. Like they have got a good side. Yilmaz, Yaziki. You know what I mean? They have got quite a good side. I'd fancy them in anyways.
Mm-hmm.
And that's our Get It Out this week, folks.
I'm going to go for the reliable Germans.
That's our Get It Out this week. The
Get It Out!
Champions League predictions. And do you know what? We'll just wrap it up here as well. It's been another bumper edition of the podcast, and we had a lot of football to cover, didn't we?
Yeah, there was quite a bit there now, I have to say.
A lot of Premier League football. I'm after doing a lot of talking. My mouth is fucking real dry.
Mm-hmm.
You're very good this week again, Dave. Thanks for coming on.
I feel a bit bad. I done that shy talking and sticking a knife into the other fans, so trying to be diplomatic here, folks.
You're a welcome addition anytime, Dave. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you very much. I'll see you again.
Thanks to all the listeners. Make sure to follow the Spotify, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. We have something big coming up on Instagram within the next week or two leading up to Christmas, so keep an eye out, keep an ear out for that. And yeah, we'll leave it there, so. Bye. Bye-bye.
Bing bong! Fuck your life!